Hi, welcome to the Weekly Sizzle. I'm Andrew, and today I'm joined by Philippe and Nick. And this week we have a new edition of the Weekly Sizzle.
Yeah, so what you'll see back here is our live cam of our readers on the website, and part of our reason for showing this, because of our guest here, is for Philippe's love of dashboards.
Yeah, and as a good user of 1851, I can tell you that I really enjoy all the dashboarding, which help measure the efficiency and the reach of the tool.
What you'll see there, someone just fell off, so shame on you for stopping your reading exercise this afternoon. This is in real time for when we're filming it, but we actually filmed it yesterday. So it's an example, it's a fun, you'll see the number increase or decrease as we go, but it's a fun way to see how many people are actually on the site, which, as we reported last week, is in the 100,000 plus range and growing. We are already pacing for the highest readership month ever, which will make us the highest read digital franchise news source that exists. So thank you for being a part of that.
And if I can add one point, so I read a lot, I read paper magazine, I read online, but more and more the information that I need, I get it through 1851. 1851 can reach me either directly through email, but also through the posting on Facebook. And the live information that I need, I get it through 1851. So thank you for this tool.
The best part of that is I didn't have to pay you for that testimonial, so thank you for that. So 3 things that we're talking about. Take it away.
All right, yeah, breakdown of this week's stories on 1851. The first would be Nick's column, which was about finding happiness in your life and how it's different for everybody.
So what I wrote about is that sometimes a happiness meter can be different based on different parts of your life, whether it's business or personal. And that I started off by saying, while it might be perceived that I'm unhappy in life, I really am happy. Personally, I found high satisfaction. In business, I'm finding high satisfaction, but it's not unhappiness that we're measuring. We're measuring our satisfaction in business. So in your business, how satisfied are you? I keep asking you that question, but how satisfied are you?
I think on a scale from 1 to 10, I am very close to 10. I am 50-year-old, and
you look not a day over 21.
Thank you very much. I think that we have the ability to craft our careers and what we are doing in life. So when you are more in your 20s, you might think that a lot of things are dictated by your environment and your family. Hopefully, as you are aging, you are more able to do what you want. And it's important to be focused on what you want and to try to achieve that. So typically, being close to 50, you should be fairly happy about what you have achieved.
So because franchisees, typically, let's say the bulk of them will range between the ages of 30 and 55. If you looked at yourself as a 30-year-old, would you say that you were 10? With the same sort of business life, or would you have been a little bit more pessimistic about where you were on a happiness scale?
You mean when I was 30?
Yeah.
Well, I think that things, for me at least, have been built over time because I have built a company. The company has kind of the shape of what I wanted it to be, and I have a role where I am fairly good in the company. So, of course, it matches fairly well my happiness. And in the same manner with franchisees, we have only people who have volunteered to be with us in the system. So again, I think that they are happy. If somebody wants to leave the system, we can have the discussion and they can leave. So nobody is unwilling in our system.
So happiness can change over time based on what your life experience is.
That's correct.
Sure.
And you need really to believe that you can influence your life and achieve your professional and personal goals.
All right. The next story would be the IFA CEO and president has stepped down amid contract dispute.
So very large story for the franchise industry. For you that are more on the prospective franchisee side, or even you on the franchisee side, probably not as high of a fact for you, partly because you're probably not as connected with the departure of the CEO of IFA, but those of you within the industry, obviously this is the big news of the week. I think change is good. I look at an IFA president and maybe there should be a period of time that they're allowed to be put in leadership, or limitations on leaders, just like there would be limitations on the President of the United States. That maybe change over time is good. Obviously, Steve Caldera did many great things for franchising. The association had tremendous growth under his tenure. But change happens. You look at some of the greatest coaches in athletic history, and they don't keep their jobs forever. That change does happen, and that's part of shaking it up. And wherever he lands, he's going to have another great impact, and whoever comes in is going to have great impact. What interests me with Philippe, you being here, and through the history of your company going through change in leadership at the top, how can an organization like IFA not freak out too much on a change at the top? And what should people be looking for in the positive outcome of a change like this?
So one, I'm sure that within the IFA, and I think it was announced yesterday, there is a committee who is going to make a professional search for the next leadership. We all know that the IFA has some very critical topic on which the association is working to help the franchisees. So it's very important that there is somewhere continuity in the concern, perhaps a change in leadership, but so that the franchise industry, which is under attack, is continuing to be properly represented in Washington, and we still have a very viable business model, which is one of the strengths of America.
So whatever change happens, as long as the voice continues in Washington and continues to fight the attack, then at least whatever Caldera put in place can be continued.
Exactly. Yeah, there will be continuity. Very likely over time there will be change because it's a different style of management. But we have a clear purpose and goal, which is to protect the franchise model, which is the reason why candidates and franchisees join the franchising ranks, is to be entrepreneur for themselves but not by themselves. So I think that's the purpose of the IFA, is to defend that model.
Great.
All right, and lastly, we have Sports Clips was named the 5th best franchise for military veterans looking for business opportunities. This was released by Military Times.
Okay. I would raise a toast to you for getting another award. There it is. Philippe, obviously awards are valuable to franchisors in that it gives a foundation for them to stand on or to celebrate internally. If you're a franchise prospect, what is the true value in an award, and how should you look at awards or rankings as a part of your evaluation of a brand?
So I think it's a good question. I see two important things in the awards. One, there is some advertising, which is a direct consequence of broadcasting that awards. So every recipient is going to get more leads just because of the award. The award also is the recognition of a know-how of the brand. If they got the award, is that they have been good at growing on this topic. So if you think that the criteria which is recognized through the award is important to you, well, that should be important when you are doing your due diligence for the brand. On the other side, if you think that it's not important, then you need to continue to do your due diligence until you find the brand which is right for you.
That's great. So thank you for watching the weekly Sizzle. Awesome week in franchise news. We got 20 people watching, half mobile, half desktop. We'll talk to you next week. See ya.
Thank you.